Good day everyone, Sir John here and welcome back to another discussion in living in the IT era. In our previous video, we talked about a computer, the basics of a computer, wherein we were able to give definition of what computer is and identify the different parts and state the types of a computer. And also, in our previous discussion, we've mentioned some concepts in operating system. Today, we are going to give emphasis on the operating system and online security. So the goal of this discussion is for you to be able to understand the importance of online security, including creating strong passwords, using password managers, and recognize phishing attempts. Apply two-factor authentication, adjust privacy settings on social media, and evaluate website security to protect personal information, and also reinforce regular online security practices and habits to ensure long-term proficiency in safe and responsible internet use. So what is an operating system? What is an operating system? An operating system is the backbone of any computer, serving as the most essential software that enables the device to function effectively. It acts as an intermediary between the user and the computer's hardware, managing critical tasks such as memory allocation, process execution, and communication between software and hardware components. Beyond simply running programs, the operating system ensures that different applications can work together efficiently while optimizing systems resource for smooth performance in our computer. It also provides a user-friendly interface, allowing individuals to interact with their devices without needing to understand complex programming languages or low-level machine code. So we basically are able to use, okay, some of the not some but all of the applications in our computers. It's because of our operating system present. Without an operating system, a computer would be nothing more than an inactive collection of hardware components, unable to perform any meaningful tasks. Whether it's a personal computer, a smartphone, or even a server, the OS plays a vital role in making technology accessible and functional for users worldwide. So we really need the operating system. All right. So your computer's operating system manages all software and hardware on the computer. Most of the time, there are several different computer programs running at the same time, and they all need to access your computer's central processing unit, memory, and storage. Okay, just like for example, you are using your Microsoft Word and your PowerPoint presentation at the same time, or you're browsing in the internet while you are um, typing something at the same time. Okay, that is made possible because of the operating system. The operating system coordinates all of this to make sure each programs get what it needs. So what is an operating system's job? Okay, your computer's operating system manages all the software and hardware on the computer. Okay, take note of that. All right. So there are different types of operating systems. Okay, the operating systems usually come preloaded on any computer you buy. Most people use the operating system that comes with their computer, but it's possible to upgrade or even change your operating system. So it's built in when we buy new device. Let's say for example you buy a new laptop. Okay, when you open your laptop, there is a pre-installed applications already, and that means okay, the operating system is already installed in your device. Okay, so what are the types of operating system we have here? What is this? Are you familiar with this logos? Okay, we have three, okay, of the most common operating system for personal computers. And we have here Windows or Microsoft Windows, we have Mac OS, and Linux. Okay, how do you pronounce that? That's Linux. Okay, modern operating systems use graphical user interface or GUI. Okay, GUI. So what's the function of the GUI? Okay, a GUI lets you use your mouse to click icons, buttons, and menus, and everything is clearly displayed on the screen using a combination of graphics and text. Each operating system's GUI has a different look and feel. So if you switch to a different operating system, it may seem unfamiliar at first. However, modern operating systems are designed to be easy to use and most of the basic principles are just the same. So you can just use any of these three operating systems. However, although they are coming from different companies, mostly they just have applied the same principles, okay, as what we have stated in our discussion. All right, so let's talk first about this one, the Microsoft Windows. Okay, Microsoft Windows, okay, operating system was created in the mid 1980s. There have been many different versions of Windows, but the most recent one, as we know, is the Windows 11, which was released just um, in 2021. Okay, we have also with Windows 10, which was released in 2015, Windows 8 in 2012, Windows 7 in 2009, and Windows Vista in 2007. Okay, Windows comes preloaded on the most new PCs, okay, which helps to make it the most popular operating system in the world. Okay, and from time to time, as you can see in your on your devices, specifically laptops, you there is a certain time that your device will tell you to update your operating system. I do hope that your laptops right now is in Windows 11 already because that's the latest operating system available in our computer. Okay, so as of February 2025, Microsoft has not officially announced a release date of Windows 12 because next to Windows 11, of course, is Windows 12. However, industry speculations suggests that it may launch between July and October 2025, aligning Microsoft's traditional release schedule. That is according to Techopedia.com. Okay, and according to the speculation, the Windows 12 will be focused on the integration of AI, okay, in our software. All right, so that's quite very promising to us. Okay, since we know that AI nowadays is very useful in our tasks. Okay, so we're done with Windows Microsoft. Okay, Microsoft Windows. Now let's talk about the what's next, the Mac OS. Okay, here we are with the expensive one. Okay, so Mac OS, previously called as OS X, is a line of operating systems created by Apple. Okay, Apple is an Apple company. It comes preloaded on all Macintosh computers or Macs. Some of the specific versions include Mojave, okay, which is released in 2018, and High Sierra in 2017, and Sierra in 2016. Right. So by the way, who is the current CEO of the Apple company right now. Who is the CEO of the Apple company right now? All right. He is Tim Cook. Okay, he is Tim Cook. The current CEO of Apple company is Tim Cook. And also, according to StatCounter Global Stats, okay, Mac OS users account for less than 10% of the global operating system, much lower than the percentage of Windows users, which is more than 80%. Okay, one reason of this is that Apple computers are much more expensive, tend to be more expensive, and that's true. Okay. However, many people do prefer the look and feel of Mac OS over the Windows, and that's undeniable because when I have tried to use some Apple products, and indeed the Apple products gives a very good graphics, okay, uh, smooth transitions in every applications like that. Okay, so it's very uh, efficient to use. Okay, and that's understandable because of its price naman pod. Okay, kay medyo mas mahal gyud pod siya kumpara sa uban. Okay, so we're done with the Mac OS. Now let's talk about this one. That okay, is a family of open source compute operating system, which means they can be modified and distributed by anyone around the world. This is different from proprietary software like Windows, which can only be modified by the company that owns it. The advantages of Linux or Linux are that it is free and there are many different distributions or versions that you can choose from. All right, so Linux is allows the users to customize or to do whatever the user's preference is. All right, so that's the advantage of the Linux. Okay, it can be modified. Alright, so according to StatCounter Global Stats as well, okay, Linux users account for less than 2% of the global operating system. However, most server run Linux because it's relatively easy to customize. Okay, so it's designed to be customized by the users. So, mana siya. However, it's just 2% among the entire globe that uses the Linux. Because I think it always needs uh, internet connection to function well. All right, so we're done with the Linux. Okay, so those were the three types of the operating system. Let's have a review. We have here, what is this? This is the Microsoft window. Sorry, the Microsoft window. We have Mac OS and we also have Linux or Linux. Okay, actually some pronounce it as Linux, some also pronounce it as Linux. Okay, but however, I prefer Linux than Linux. So it's up to you. How do you pronounce that? Okay. So this time we'll be talking about the online security. Okay, we all know that hacking and cybercrime is very rampant nowadays. And as a responsible user of the internet and as one of the 21st century learners, okay, we supposedly should know, okay, the online security, how to make sure our accounts, our device is safety, it is secure from any risk of hacking. Okay, so as we become more connected through the internet, understanding the basic online security practices is crucial to protecting our personal information and privacy. Who would not want that? Okay, cyber threats such as hackers, viruses, and phishing attacks are real, but by following a few simple practices, we can reduce our risk significantly. So how? How do we do that? All right. So creating strong passwords. Again, create a strong password. All right. I want you to know, class, that your passwords are the first line of defense against unauthorized access to your accounts. Diba? That's what we should do. That's what we commonly do in our devices, in our phones. Okay, when we don't want others to open or to go through our phone, we created password, and that's the same thing in our social media accounts on our devices, other devices. We create passwords because this is the first line of defense against unauthorized access. Okay, a strong password should be complex and unique, avoiding easily guessable words or phrase like the name. Ano, for example, you created password with your name. You use just your name and your birthday. Okay, that's not a strong password. If you want a strong password, you make your password more complex. Okay, so how would you create that? A strong password typically includes a combination of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. We have here in this illustration here, okay, not illustration, in example here presented in our presentation, we have H9U $7 small e capital LSR. So a lot of characters are present here, and it's impossible for any to guess these characters present in your password. However, the challenge for this is how are we going to retain all these characters? Okay, we have a tip for that later on. Okay, avoid using personal information like your birthdays or your names. Okay, don't do that, huh? Do not use your birthdays or your names in creating password. But I am somehow guilty of this because yes, um, sometimes we really use our personal information for us to easily remember our passwords. However, it's very unsafe. Okay, it's very unsafe to use our passwords, to use our personal information as passwords in our different accounts or devices. Okay, to help manage your passwords, consider using Password Manager. Okay, you can use a password manager. These tools store your password securely and can generate random strong passwords for each account that you create. So my strategy is I have something where I write all of the passwords of my social media accounts and my devices so that I cannot forget all the passwords that I used. Okay? Again, do not use your personal information in creating password. Okay. Next is recognizing and avoiding phishing attempts. Okay, so phishing attempts. What is phishing attempts, by the way? Or what is phishing? Okay, phishing is a form of cyber attack where an attacker tries to trick you into providing personal information, such as passwords, by pretending to be a legitimate source like bank or email service provider. And it's very rampant nowadays since most transactions, okay, right now is already online. We have online health consultation, online banking, online selling. Okay, actually everything right now is online, and it's each one of us is very prone to phishing attempts. Okay, some would pretend like they are our family members or directly related to us. They would say, I'm your mom or I'm your dad, can you send me money? And the worst thing is they knew every details of our relatives, our families. That's why somehow if we are not very careful and if we are not cautious, okay, we will become a victim of phishing attempts. Okay, phishing attacks often come in the form of emails or messages asking you to click on a link or download an attachment. That's why it's if somebody will send you a link, although it's your friend or it's someone you know, do not click that link easily. Okay, because um, most sometimes that could be phishing attacks, or maybe your friend's account is being hacked, okay, and they send you a link, and then when you click that, okay, they can go through your personal information, which is very dangerous. Okay, what are the signs of phishing? Okay, look out for suspicious emails or messages that contain urgent language, grammatical errors, or unfamiliar links. Do not click on links or open attachments unless you are certain the message is from a trusted source. Okay, diba they say in this time it's really hard to trust anybody. Okay, it's really hard, and that's right, 'di ba? Kay lisod na gyud mo tuo ron ni bisan kinsa. Right? So when somebody send you something, a link, do not click on it easily. Okay, make sure nga verified na siya nga dili phishing attempt. Okay, mailhan man pud nimo. Especially if they would send messages before sila mag-send sa link. Mailhan nimo the way they construct messages. Okay, if they are using your friend's account, okay, you know man pod how your friend will chat you. Okay, you will know the difference. Okay, so next is verify source. Okay, this one. If you receive an email or message from a company asking for sensitive information, okay, like your password, okay, murag di naman pud siguro common if your friend would ask you your password, or even your family, perhaps your parents, some parents might ask password, but it is not necessary. Okay, so do not respond directly to the message. Okay, instead, visit the company's website by typing the URL into your browser and contact them using their official contact methods. Okay, that's the safest thing so that we can verify the source. Okay, I hope that you'll do that. Okay, next is keep your personal information secure. Okay, whenever you use online communication tool like email, messaging app, or social media, it's essential to protect your personal information. Okay, we'll be talking about social media privacy. Be mindful of the information that you share on the social media. Okay, some of us would um, be very kanang detailed with our personal life in social media. Mura lupigan pa nato ang mga vlogger. Okay, however, we must be mindful with the information that we share in the social media, like posting your ID, posting your TOR. That is very dangerous. Posting something with signatories. That is dangerous. You could be prone to cybercrime for that. Okay. Avoid posting sensitive details such as your full birth date, address, or phone number. Adjust your privacy settings to limit who can see your posts and profile. Okay, so I hope that you will put that in your heart and in your mind. Okay, kay daghan ta kaayong guilty ani. Okay, we want to uh, kanang put our information to public, especially those who want to kanang ganahan mahimong content creator. When you are a content creator, of course, you need to update the audience about your personal life. However, you should have build a limitations about your personal information. Next is secure websites. Secure website. When shopping online or entering sensitive data like passwords or credit cards information, ensure that the website is secure by checking the padlock symbol next to the URL, and make sure that the website begins with HTTPS, which stands for secure. Diba? Let's say for example, you have an online transaction or you're ordering something in Alibaba wherein you have to pay via Paymaya. Okay, before you send your e-money, make sure that the link, okay, the URL begins with HTTPS. Okay, because the S there stands for secure. Again ha, i-check kung naabay S ang HTTP. Kung nabitaw sa babaw, link, okay, check if there is an S because the S there stands for secure. Okay, so secure website. Next is two-factor authentication. I know that you are familiar with this because Facebook Messenger right now has two-factor authentication, and also um, if you have a YouTube account, okay, there is also a two-factor authentication wherein you connect one device to other device. Okay, okay, it's like an extra layer security sa imuhang account. Okay, it enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. This extra layer of security requires you to provide a second piece of information, like a code sent to your phone when logging in to your account. Okay, so this is how it works. So let's say, for example, you log in your YouTube account in other devices. Okay, before that account will be logged into that device. Okay, your other device, or let's say for example your phone must have the message that would serve as the lock, the key, I mean, for you to activate the account sa imuhang bag-o nga device. So mura siya og two nga two device ang gigamit para maka-login ka sa isa ka device. Okay, so mao na siya. Mostly code ang gigamit. Like for example, mag-send siya code sa imuhang cellphone. Now, if you have the device cellphone, you will know the code and then you will type the code sa other device. That's how two-factor authentication works. Okay, next to two-factor authentication, this time we'll be talking about, okay, the practice in using computer function. Okay, what are the things that we need to do in order to make our device, to make our accounts safe and secure? Okay, first is daily usage. Again, daily usage. Okay, I'm not saying that daily usage of Facebook, Instagram, and any other social media platforms. What I meant is daily application of creating strong passwords, applying two-way authentication, or any means to make your device or to make your account secure. Okay, always note that the more you use your computer, the more comfortable you'll become with the basic tasks like the operating system, using the keyboards and mouse, and managing files. Always aim to practice these skills daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Okay, because by that you'll become more tech savvy and you'll get to use to how you manipulate your device. Okay, thereby applying those tips that I just shared with you earlier. Okay, next is explore new features. Do not forget to explore new features. Okay, don't be afraid to explore your computer settings and features. Experiments like new programs or discover hidden shortcuts to increase your efficiency in using the computer. Okay, I sent you the different some shortcuts in our Google Classroom, and make sure that you will practice on that. The shortcut keys. Higatong Control plus A to Z. Okay, like that. All right. Over time, these actions will become instinctive. Maana darjud ka anak kadugayan. Alright, so next is incorporating secure habits into your routine. Okay, how do we incorporate secure habits into our routine? Okay, first we have, okay, set up a strong password. Okay, again, set up a strong password. Ensure that all of your accounts, including email, social media, and financial accounts, are protected with strong, unique passwords. Okay, dapat strong sa unique passwords. And dapat dili personal information. Okay, regularly review and update your passwords. If possible, you change your passwords weekly o makaya. However, kanang kapoy man jud mag-change og password. Okay, as long as it's kanang strong password, that's okay. But I suggest you change your password at least every month. Okay. Next is be aware of phishing risk. Practice recognizing phishing attempts by reviewing emails, messages, and websites critically. You must be a critical thinker if you use the internet, because there's a lot of risk in using the internet. So be careful. Make it a habit to check the legitimacy of the request for personal information. Next is review privacy settings. Okay, regularly review the privacy settings on your social media accounts and adjust them to restrict access to your personal information. This habit will help you, okay, to keep digital presence secure. Okay, so mao to siya. Okay, I hope that you'll remember that. So mastering the basics of computer use and online security is essential for navigating today's digital world. By understanding how to operate our computer, use peripheral devices, and follow security best practices, we can make our digital experience both efficient and safe. Okay? Remember that regular practice is the key. Whether you're refining your computer skills or reinforcing your security habits, okay, uh, dapat you need to be responsible in your use of your device and the internet. Responsible in securing your properties. Okay, with these foundational skills in place, you'll be well prepared to handle the opportunities and challenges of increasingly connected world. So I think that's all for today, and I hope that you understand something from our discussion. And I hope that you are in safety places right now, and always remember that you are responsible of your own property in personal and in online. God bless everyone, and see you next time. Alright, so I think that's all about our discussion for today. I do hope that you understand, and I just hope that you'll be responsible with whatever things that you do online. Make sure that you are safe from crime, cybercrime, you are safe from phishing attempts, you are safe from hacker. And um, if just all of us will become responsible to our use of our internet, our use of our devices and our accounts, okay, there's no reason for us to be a victim. okay of this. So just practice and practice, and I know you can do better and better from time to time. So I think that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening, and see you on our next discussion. Goodbye.